guys, it's Adria. So today I wanted to share with you guys my story and experience with cyberbullying. And this is something that is a really big thing, and I feel like it doesn't get enough attention, and it is still a very threatening thing on today's world. And I feel like, you know, we've lost so many young people because of cyberbullying, so many unnecessary suicides because of how easy it is to bully and harass people through the internet. You know, like I grew up in the 90s, and that's really when the internet was still kind of not a very big thing. You know, everybody still had their Game Boys and Nintendos, you know, and nobody was really connected to the internet. I really didn't have the internet until I was about maybe 12, 13 years old. You know, I didn't really have it at a young age, and I can't imagine being a young person having the exposure to things that kids today do. I can't imagine what it would be like. I can just think of how I thought and what I could comprehend at the age of like 8, 9, 10, and to have, you know, like Instagram and YouTube and Google, or I had Google when I was young, but to just have social media that young, I can't imagine that. So I really think that the amount of negativity on the internet overall needs to stop. And this is just my experience with cyberbullying. I was cyberbullied by somebody that I actually knew in real life. I won't say her name or how I knew her, but it was somebody that I actually knew in real life. And she came across as a nice person. I was very nice to her back, and just out of the blue sent me a horrific message over Instagram, and she made a fake Facebook of me, and I didn't even know what to say. Like, I got a phone call from one of my family members one night, like saying like, how could you say this stuff? How could you do this? Like, I'm just like, what are you talking about? And they like sent me a picture of it, and I was just in shock, because I know that I didn't do that, and I know I would never say anything like what those messages said. So she basically created a fake profile of me and sent horrible messages around that I had no part of, and it was really, I didn't even know what to do. Like, can you imagine that feeling where it's like nobody believes you that you didn't do it, and it's just like, you know that you didn't do it? And I was horrified, and I didn't know how to clear my name. I didn't know how to like prove it to anybody. But then she sent me this over Instagram, and I'll kind of skim through it. I won't read it word for word because it does get a little iffy, but yeah, I'll read some of it. I've saved the screenshot for it's been a few years, but I just recently found it again on my computer, and I want to erase it for good. I just want to get rid of it. So I thought I would make this cyberbullying video, and then I would just delete it, get rid of it, just be done with it. So yeah. And this is in relation to the messages that she wrote and sent to herself. So she basically made it look like I called her out and cursed her out and told her to kill herself, but it was her that made a fake profile of me and messaged herself. So do you realize how like crazy that sounds? So she says, "It's funny how many people you can piss off in one day. You and your family are the definition of world's most lonely, attention-seeking bitches. You can bad talk whoever you want, but you're too much of a pansy to own up to it. All you do is talk, but you can't stand up to what you do and say. Your family and yourself claim to be such great Christians, but it clearly shows that forgiveness is not a word in your vocabulary." I don't even know what she's talking about. Forgiveness? She never asked for forgiveness. And according to her, she hasn't done anything wrong, so what is there to forgive her for? "Instead, you throw off the blame to someone else so you don't have to deal with it. To try and blame me of hacking into your Facebook and writing myself is the most pathetic thing I've ever heard." No, I know she didn't hack my Facebook. I know she created a fake profile of me, which isn't that hard to do if you think about it. All you need to do is find my profile picture and make a fake profile. It's really not that hard. "I don't even live in the same state as you, nor do I give two flying F's about you. Also, boasting about how you used to cut yourself and have suicidal tendencies is not cute. It makes you look like an attention-starved little C-word." I can't recall a time I ever boasted about having hurt myself or having suicidal tendencies. That's not something to boast about. It's something that I've shared openly to hopefully show that that's not the answer to things. You know, I've never boasted about it or asked for sympathy about it because I don't want sympathy or anything like that. I just wanted to, you know, share my story and help other people out there that may be dealing with the same things. But this line right here, if you're sensitive to self-harm or things, if you struggled with that, you may want to skip ahead like 30 seconds before I read this. But she says, maybe you should have cut a little deeper and saved the world from dealing with an incompetent waste of space. Go swallow a gun. You can go ahead and say anything you want about me, but I could care less, so eat your heart out and say whatever you would like. I'm comfortable in my skin and nothing will bother me. I honestly have sympathy for you because you will never amount to anything. Have a great life, you worthless waste of space. What does somebody even say to that? To tell somebody to cut a little deeper who struggled with self-harm is probably the most insensitive thing ever. And did I listen to her? No. Did I swallow a gun? No. And what should you do if somebody tells you to cut a little deeper or swallow a gun? You block them and you tell them, God bless you, have a nice day. Because you know what? People like her, she has problems way worse than mine. And I can guarantee you that. People like that just have such deep-rooted issues, it's not even funny. Like somebody like me, I acknowledge that I have mental issues. I deal with things in my head. I acknowledge that, but for her, there's nothing wrong with her and I'm the problem. Let me just tell you, if anybody has ever said anything to you like this, they have way worse problems than you do. I can guarantee you, because somebody of sound mind, somebody with a decent head on their shoulders is not gonna go say that to somebody. Even somebody like me, who has been on the verge of killing themselves at one point, would never say that to somebody. So what does that say about her? And you know what I said to her? I said nothing. I didn't even reply to her. I blocked her because, you know, I have nothing. Like even now, even like 2-3 years after this, like even now I'm just like, I don't even know what to say to her. I haven't spoken to her since this. Honestly, I hope that she gets help. I really do, because this isn't even the only thing that I'm like, she may be a little off. You know, there were other things that happened to her that I'm just like, she may need to like go talk to somebody, because that's not okay. You know, people that tell people to kill themselves are not okay. And one of my favorite sayings is, hurt people hurt people. So if you're hurt, you're gonna go hurt somebody else. You know, people that are perfectly okay with who they are don't say stuff like that. And you know how she was like, oh, I'm comfortable in my skin, eat your heart out. No, you're not comfortable in your skin, because if you were, you wouldn't be coming at me. I'll admit, back then, that actually did hurt me. That really hurt me, and I cried over that. And I was actually very, very pained by that. And it's taken me 2+ years to be like, you know what, whatever, girl. Anyone out there, if anybody ever tells you to cut a little deeper or swallow a gun, you know what you say to that? You don't say anything to that. If it's over the internet, that makes it effortless. You can just block them. Because I know it's tempting to fight back. It's tempting to want to say something back and defend yourself and look tougher than them and make them feel like crap about themselves too, but just block them. Because you know why people do that? They do that to start drama. She was a drama queen. Everything had to be drama. When there wasn't drama, she was not happy. People like that, don't respond to them. I'm telling you, because all they want is a reaction out of you. I can guarantee you. So by you not replying to them, you're destroying them, because they are not getting what they want. And if somebody bullies you even in person and says something like that, you don't have to respond. You know, maybe you do struggle with self-harm and suicidal things, and people point that out and bully you for that over the internet, like I've gotten. That's not even the only one. That's just like the biggest case of cyberbullying I've ever had. You know, she's not worth it. And you know what? She didn't even know me that well. You know, like I knew her and like we had talked a few times, but she didn't know me that well, and people like that need help. And I honestly, like, I wish her all the best, because she needs something. And you know, I knew that I needed help, and I got that for myself. I could be 10 times worse than her, but at least I acknowledge it, you know? So even if, you know, I am as bad as she likes to say I am, even if I am as messed up and morbid as she believes, at least I've gotten help for myself, and I try to do stuff to better myself. And she doesn't even acknowledge that she has a problem. And to me, that's a bigger problem. You know, when people are in denial that they even have a problem to begin with, like, oh, I'm comfortable in my skin, you know, eat your heart out, when she's sending hateful messages telling someone to kill themselves. But overall, you should never tell somebody to kill themselves, ever. Not even as a joke. It's not a joke. Whether you want them to or not, you may say it to the wrong person one day and they may actually do it. You know, if I had been in a worse mental place when she had said that, maybe I would have actually have done it. Words hurt people. I can't express that enough. I would rather be punched brutally in the face than receive anything of that nature. Words hurt way more than anything physical to me, especially stuff that hits close to home like that, that's really personal. I can't express enough that people need to stop, and people need to be stopped, and people like that need to be reported and permanently removed from the internet and taken somewhere where they can get help and talk to somebody and work through their problems, because somebody that says things like that is not okay. I'm sorry, like, somebody that can say that to someone is not all right. And somebody that can make a fake profile of somebody and message themselves something hurtful, like, who would even think to do something like that? Who has the time to do something like that? That's not okay. And I really, really hope and pray that she finds peace in herself and in her heart. And I forgive her. I have no reason to not forgive her. I don't have hatred toward her. Forgiving somebody, that's for you. That's not for them, that's for you. I've let go of it. I've moved on. And especially after today, I'm going to delete that screenshot forever and just let this be a lesson that cyberbullying does hurt. It has an impact on people. But for me, I just want to put it out there for motivation for people, that everybody has somebody say something to them that hurts them. Everybody's been hurt, everybody's been targeted, and if somebody picks on you for something personal, just know that they are probably struggling a lot worse than you are, and they need to really reevaluate themselves, and they have some serious issues going on. So to anybody out there, any of my viewers who have experienced anything like this, I'm so sorry. And not everybody is gonna hear that, you know, someone feels sorry, but I am sorry. And for anybody who's lost a friend to suicide from bullying, I'm deeply sorry. And I wish that this did not exist. I wish that things like this weren't even thought of. I wish this couldn't even be typed out on the internet, you know what I mean? I wish things like this would just evaporate. And the internet is both a blessing and a curse. It can be used for great things, like what I use it for. I've used it to reach out to so many people. I've made so many friends. I met my boyfriend through the internet. The internet is amazing, but it is also evil on the other side of it. It can be used for dark, horrible things. And we just need to start really cracking down on these internet bullies and people that do these horrible things. And thank God I didn't listen to her. Thank God that I saw her as dirt under my shoe and brushed it off and moved on. And you know, honestly, I want to thank her because she motivated me. She motivated me to keep going. She motivated me to prove her wrong. And if I had killed myself, she probably would have been like, oh, look at that. I didn't listen to her. Look where I am now. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I'm out of battery. And I will see you guys again in my next video. Leave your stories of cyberbullying in the comments below. I'd love to hear them, and I'd love to respond and give you guys any more advice down in the comments if I could. So I will see you guys again in my next video. Until then, panda hugs. I love you guys. Bye.